Hi, I'm Laurie Dobson, and this is Island Update. It's Friday morning, April 10th, 2020, and I'm on Great Cranberry Island. I just got off the phone waiting on a Zoom call that never materialized. The selectmen had said they were going to be meeting Tuesdays and Fridays, and they met last Tuesday. They have not posted whether they would be holding these meetings. All it was agreed to in a meeting, so I'm kind of confused. And it would be nice if we knew when they were meeting, because it did seem like we were going to be able to have some interactive, back and forth and get some good communication, not only between the select board and the people, but island to island. There are some issues, there are always issues that come up, whether it's a pandemic or not, or a pandemic on an island, which is even more interesting. I had hoped to hear whether they knew anything about Vinyl Haven's recent letter that they sent out, the medical center sent out to all the different summer residents that I mentioned last night in my video, apparently asking if they were all going to be, if they could please not come this summer at all whatsoever. And it seemed as though they might have some information that leads to the conclusion that nothing in the summer is that it's not a good time period to come out. And I have asked to get that letter from a friend, so I have the exact letter that went out. I know a couple different people who received it. And so anyway, I'm just curious what other islands are doing, what other towns are doing. I know that things are ramping up in concern, and then there's a peaking either now or it's coming up to the middle of April, or if it's going to be in a little while, if there is a peak. And then there's also people out there, I would love it if we could all have a discussion, island discussion about whether it's really good to try to sort of do this thing. A lot of people are saying, the whole typical thing that they've been saying over and over again about flattening the curve and spreading it. But then I read an epidemiologist who said that flattening the curve just prolongs it, extends it. It's not good not to let it get outside. Respiratory illnesses die when they're exposed and people go outside. I don't know what to make of all that, and I don't know who to contact, really, who could answer these questions in our state. I've tried to reach the governor with these questions, and I just get, the typical form letter responses. So, and I can ask other people, but we're all kind of operating in a sort of there's a dearth of information coming back to us, and it's frustrating. I would like to know if, in fact, it's better for us not to be fighting this so intensely. If we're ramping up and getting heated and getting all this freaked out about social distancing, when there are some people down the line saying, there's no real scientific proof of that working, other than some information coming back from other countries where they've dealt with it differently. Extreme draconian measures to social distance. But then you have the reality that Sweden is not doing anything. They are acting completely as if it wasn't even happening. They're just letting it run its course without even, giving it any kind of special treatment. I mean, where is our analysis, and where are these ventilation devices helping or hurting? There are people saying it's a different kind of an event. It happens because of a lack of oxygen, and forcing a tube, forcing the breathing in is somehow detrimental. I mean, I could go into the details of what that argument says, and it almost seems to make sense, but in the lack of any, scientific discussion, political discussion, and it's all in these, these websites from supposed people, expert medical professionals that seem to know what they're talking about on these far-flung websites that could or could not be, propaganda. It just seems like there's just too much to try to synthesize on our own. But when you're in a position of responsibility, or public responsibility, you don't want to be advocating, like I've been nonstop for a heightened response, an intensified response based on the fact that if it's what we're told, by our, CDC or the EMS service or, the Maine EMS services notices or the governor's notices that we're supposed to, duly appointed or duly credentialed or duly, informed, we're supposed to carry it out. And so I'm operating a kind of like, it's just kind of like maybe it's a double-blind study where we're not allowed to know what's going on. We're just supposed to do it, and they want to see how effective it is. Maybe it's because of a future situation. I just think to put people under this kind of duress and stress on a regular basis, and all the downfall, all the outcome, potential negative outcomes from putting people in an unnatural situation for an overly long extended period of time, you have to have good reasons and you have to be transparent. And I'm just calling all of the thing into question at this point. And I'm saying, if anybody knows what the deal is here, could you just kind of get back to me? So I would really like to, do some good here rather than spreading potential misinformation that we won't even know is misinformation until down the road. But if we know now, we ought to act now to do the right things and have real faith in it. I was just saying yesterday, we have to have faith in the governor, and yeah. Today, I think we have to urge our professionals and our representatives to continue to be straight with us, because it is easy, it is convenient for governments to withhold information from people, because then they don't have to deal with the ramifications of telling people and all what, it's always easy to just do things without having to get, buy-in from the public. But I think it's time for us to all be able to have some power in this situation. That's all I have to say today so far. But anyway, thank you for letting me have my time here to discuss what seems to be, I think, and it's not just that this is aggravating me. I have to be honest. I'm thoroughly vexed by the whole Bernie Sanders situation and how that got handled, because I really did work hard on that campaign twice now. And there's just nothing to say about it except, that's the way things go. Just anyhow, I'd like to put my effort into productive solutions. And in the meantime, I'll just keep my spirits up and urge you all to do the same. Singing was great yesterday, that energy of that. And staying vitamined up and exercised and doing work around the house and being productive and petting the dogs and loving my honey and just doing all those good things. So anyway, carry on, guys. And thanks for letting me have this space to talk to you. I appreciate your listening. Take care.